A most roundabout trial. I much prefer the turnabout variety myself. Now we're back to the fact there was but one suspect who lacked an alibi. Which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking this entire time. So we're back to square one. Ugh, I'm exhausted and depressed. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the mood matrix. Huh? Does this mean... Further resistance is futile. The time for a verdict is nigh. Wait! Sort of devilry are you up to now? What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right? Well, yes, I suppose it would. But after such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist? Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout, but Mr. O'Connor's testimonies cracked the case. Where's Professor Means, right? There's no more noise. Hugh's telling us the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite him really was empty, which now means there is one person unaccounted for. Besides June, the only other person who has an alibi during the mock trial is... Take that! The balcony seat was empty, that much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right, how many more times do I have to say it? So basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence!
Need I remind you, every last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech?
Objection!
I know, and that's not in dispute here. Now let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was pre-recorded. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from an empty balcony seat. Objection. Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane! I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder! Take this to the police, he said, and tell them you found it. What? Really? Wait a second. Mr. O'Connor, did you say Professor Means gave that phony recording to you? Phony? The defense will refrain from earning unsubstantiated allegations. Well, I said he gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony? Wow, who could have seen this development? The voice shouting "You're a goner" as recorded on this tape was dubbed into it using a line our client said in the mock trial video. Well, this is an extraordinarily crucial piece of evidence. Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. If that's really true, then Professor Means has guilt written all over him. Your Honour, the defence moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence!
The seat was never empty. 'Twas but an oversight by our dullard of a witness. An inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often too easy to overlook critical symptoms.
Objection!
Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for suspecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable.
That's enough, both of you. Now here's my opinion on the matter. While asserting overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness's oversight too must not be overlooked. Thus, as to the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the Professor himself.
I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today.
Do as you please. Will you please state your name and occupation for the record?
Certainly, I'm Aristotle Means. I teach the lawyer course at Famous Legal Academy, and let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion.
Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at that speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation in this?
Very well, if that's all you're interested in, please proceed, Miss Sykes.
We need to find some sort of evidence that shows this speech was pre-recorded.
All right, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. Good afternoon. I'd like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event at the school festival, will begin shortly. Now, as a student, I too can hardly wait for this day to come.
Oh no, I'd forgotten how long and boring the speech was.
Wake me up when this is over.
Hey, no fair.
The experiences of our youth are a powerful and profound effect on our adult.
Fuck it, I'm saving my voice.
You there, wake up, pay attention.
Huh? Huh? I'm awake. Isn't that right, Your Honor?
What? I'm awake too. Wide awake, see?
Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today. Pay attention, you may make a difference one day. Now let the mock trial begin. That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes.
Bored to tears, I expect. There we go. He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears. Listen, Sykes Stono, if you've subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out.
You were asleep the whole time.
Well, Miss Sykes, do you notice anything strange about that speech?
Can I please hear the last part again? There, I finally found what we needed. Professor Milani, I have one question about your speech. Why is the last part we've heard contradict with this?
Take that!
The professor said the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in the video isn't close to being white. It's gold as gold can be.
I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity.
I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honour. Now it's true that this statue is pure white, but it broke before the mock trial began, and the one you see here is a replacement.
Oh, that is a shame on every count.
Ironically, this golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning the professor wouldn't have made the mistake in its colour if he'd been present.
It seems I've caused some confusion, but it's merely an oversight on my part.
The statue was in the middle of the room. How can you not know what it looked like?
I was in a balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white.
I'm afraid there's insufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded.
We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall.
No, wait! There's got to be something that can prove the speech was pre-recorded.
According to the mock trial video, the speech started here.
And ended here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. It was only a little over 10 minutes. It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was?
Easy, there's a timestamp in the top right.
All we have to do is
Subtract the time and the speech, subtract it from the time and the task. Sorry. All we have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended.
the speech goes from 10-minute mark to the 2035. Wait a second. I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among other evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use speech to show that the speech time to show it was pre-recorded.
Take that!
Never mind. Speech took us out for 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Ah.
Take that!
I'd like the court to take a look at this.
And this is...
The voice print analysis proves the voice on the tape recorder belonging to our client.
Yes, but didn't we just establish the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication?
We did, but I'd like to focus on the noise that's also there. noise? Yes. The defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. And what do you hope to prove by that? I'm so sorry. Noise? Yes, the defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. How do you hope to prove that? The length of the noise that's important, it's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Mead stopped his speech?
It'd be exactly 10 o'clock.
Let's fast forward this long, winding exercise to the beat important to the end. Stop. The video now reads 20:35. Based on that, we know the time it took for the speech alone. Now subtract 10 minutes, you get 10:35. 10 minutes and 45. Right, 10 minutes 35 seconds, the same as the noise of the tape recording. I assume you'll understand what this means. Professor Mead's pre-recorded speech should be where the noise is now.
Silence!
You seem rather confident considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
Is it really just numbers? The police are analysing the noise as we speak. It won't be long before we know what was originally there. Now I'm sure of it. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an album with a recording by pinning the crime on Julie. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an album with a recording by pinning the crime on Julie. Well, he's not going to get away with it. Not on my watch.
Miss Sykes? Uh-oh. I believe you're well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I'd physically defend her as per my word. To that purpose, I offered to be her lawyer. Alas, look what happened.
All I've stated are obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony.
Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I had been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now you cast this blame upon me. I have no choice but to reveal the truth.
Oh, this doesn't sound good.
I will now reveal the truth why I had to pre-record my speech for the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I means and means what I say by all means. communicated to me what she said was very important and by necessity a secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked I get to declare innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. When I said I'd protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do.
Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you? This has to be a lie. Everything lines up too perfectly to be true.
On this consequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has surely taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means.
I don't believe you.
When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent.
Her two friends? The witnesses?
Correct. You, O'Connor and Robin Newman, I was sure all three walked free. All three were to achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. She was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end.
You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics.
Yes, well, that's why I vowed so vigorously to defend her despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth and they wished for victory in court. Alas, those days are over. Now in defense of justice, order, and all that's good, the end justifies the means.
I'm so sick of that phrase.
Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth of its victory you seek. Steel yourself the new courtroom reality.
That does it. He's going to regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark ages of law, it's up to me to fight it.
Why so silent, Sykes Dono? Is something the matter?
This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking.
Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. I will not have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify the situation.
Oh no, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is.
Hold it!
I doubt our client would have come to you with something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Cord had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead.
So our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead?
Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I too was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly.
Is he kidding me? The lie couldn't be further from the truth.
The problem is, how am I going to expose it?
It was
an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? Juniper confessed to the murder and asked if I get her declared innocent in court.
Hold it!
Did you consider that a threat?
Yes, but it's now you who have seen... Yes, but it's now you to whom she's passed the demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper.
What?
Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, she's a fervent follower of my teachings.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character.
Very well, objection sustained.
So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable.
Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do upon this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed any murder and she just hadn't meant to threaten me.
Really? Please do explain.
Long had I waited for a student who could embody my teachings.
Does the witness realize what he's saying?
Surely you must see the true meaning of my words. I'm merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh wow, this way of thinking's really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words.
It is a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter.
Hold it!
You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. You'll see anything to pin the blame on Junie.
What a frightful look! I would ask you not glare at me so. I've nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That's why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student.
Liar, you're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking?
You cannot possibly overturn my claims. So isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is?
If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm going to find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, it all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making it up as he goes along. He'll trip on his own words yet. Time to see how consistency of the professor's testimony matches up with actual actions. I've got absolutely no idea with this one. I mean, he doesn't show up on the video, but the video's not part of the evidence.
Objection!
There's no need to explain anything. This piece of evidence says it all.
All it says to me is you're completely wrong.
Right, I'm gonna need the hint function to show up, please. Because I honestly don't know.
Objection!
No. There we go. You mind letting your slightly senior partner help out a little now? If you insist. Actually, I could really use the help. Well, I find this statement suspicious. You should find the answer if you take a good look at the evidence. Thanks, Apollo. I can get used to this more humble version of you, you know. That's the one? Really? Humane thing to do.
Objection!
Let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods. That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offence, Your Honour.
Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor, it's an outrage.
Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honour. Please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. When he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it."
There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise, involved. I simply did it out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it was incredibly damaging evidence. Why did it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell's paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law.
Why, you dare call my teachings and methods lies?
What the fuck?
Famous Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world.
I knew the badge on his vest looked like a fucking face he'd make, and there we go. There it is right there.
You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Professor Means, what's with the hair?
Quiet! No talking in class!
Ow!
Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We'll begin with roll call. Athena Sykes.
Huh? Here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. Here.
Who? The proper response is here without extra extraneous information.
Ow! Here.
Next, Your Honor.
Here?
See, class, this is the proper way to answer. Simon Blackquill. I said Simon Blackquill. Are you here or not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well, then I'll mark you as absent. Now get out my class this instant.
Get out? Very well, if that's your wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher?
Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackquill is free of his shackles.
Ah!
Ha ha! It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. But is it really so shocking?
Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright.
Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session.
Why do I have to sudden urge to go in the nurse's office with a stomachache?
Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you'd better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Objection. Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you'd label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8. I was already at home by that time. So how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
Professor Means, can you really prove you'd already gone home by that time?
Objection! Can you prove I was still at the school?
No, I can't.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you've also earned yourself laboratory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Ew! I can remember that to the office.
Objection.
Oh, who was that? Ah. No way, man! I totally object! Oh, great. 2 voices that are rough on my own throat back to back. This will be fun to do. Robin? Oh. I can't believe I fell for the Professor's silver-tongued lies.
Why, how dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. I have a confession to make. You know those 2 statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. The statues on stage? Oh no, where this is headed. I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time to make the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on stage after the last bell? Right, it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
The professor told me I'd take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I could make both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin.
Objection! Somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Gah! Who's in charge of this class pet around here?
Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do.
No swords at school. All weapons will be
confiscated, Glanville.
Nurse! Nurse! Where's a school nurse when you need one?
This is getting silly. It would seem Sykes-Stono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning.
Very well, I'll just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style.
What does that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please.
Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30. The defendant Chirpa saw the 2 statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage a single second. How could I have possibly had time to go to the art room and commit murder?
You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues?
Precisely, she said so herself at the detention center yesterday. The defense team was there and heard us say it too, so don't try to deny it now.
Right, the Professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the Professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete the statue in that 1.5 hours?
It'd probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it'd be incredibly difficult to finish in that shorter time.
That didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means.